So I thought I would do this a little differently this time and do an overhead shot so I can show you exactly what I have in my cases that I bring with me to weddings. Let's get into it. So first case, now as you can see, I label all of my cases because I usually have an assistant with me, or I've got a second shooter that comes with me and I want all my cases labeled so it's easy for them to know what's in each one of the cases. I only have 3 cases like this, 2 of these size, one that's a lot larger that has my cameras and lenses, and then I've got a big roller case that carries all the stuff for off-camera flash. So first up, it's where I keep my external hard drive that I use for backing up while I'm at weddings, where I keep my light meter at. This light meter is the Sekonic L358. I use this for when adjusting for off-camera flash, sometimes for ambient when I am using my film cameras. Nice little meter, you can pick them up used, pretty cheap, works really well. I keep my lens wipes in here, a flashlight, which, believe it or not, a flashlight comes in a lot more handy than you would think at a wedding. Keep some clamps in here. These clamps are good for holding reflectors, holding cables, all kinds of different things. This is where I normally would keep my DJI mics app, but that is actually what I'm using right now. So I've got one mic on and one hooked up to my camera. In here, I just repurposed one of my old knife cases, and I keep, this is the grid for the AD200 Pros. It's a barn door grid, and then you got your little gels that just magnet right onto it. I also keep a spare charger in here as well that really could just go over here into this case where I do keep other chargers. So for the most part, that's what's in here. It's got just kind of some miscellaneous stuff. Chargers, you know, the light meter, all the little goodies, just really a bunch of random stuff that I didn't really know where to put. Up next, as you can see, this is my flashes, and I've got a couple lenses that I keep in here too, just ones that I don't use as often, so they go into this case. First up, I got the Fuji. This is the 55-200, which comes out to, it's about an 85 to 300 millimeter. This is a great lens. Don't use it all that super often, but it's one of those lenses that when you need it, you absolutely need a good telephoto lens, especially in your ceremonies if you are pushed back a ways. Next lens that I've got in here is a TT Artisan 55 or 56 millimeter 1.8. I've done a video on this lens. These are a cheaper lens, but a really nice lens. Autofocus isn't super fast, but they're a pretty sharp lens. Nice metal build. You know, the focus ring feels great on them. It's a good lens. They're good lenses. Something I don't use all that super often, so again, why it is in this case. This is the Godox IM30, just a little on-camera flash that I use a lot during the reception for those overhead shots with a wide-angle lens. This one is getting replaced out with the newer IT30, I believe it is. I actually need to check with my camera store to see if it has come in yet. This is the ProMaster Rugged. This is where I keep all of my SD cards in it. And then I use the red side for any cards that have already been used up, and once I have backed them up onto my external hard drive. And for triggers, I have a Godox X2T. This is an older trigger. It doesn't get used all that super often. If I am running both cameras with a trigger on it, then this one will be used. But for the most part, I am using the Godox X3 Pro. This is the newer one, the touchscreen. Absolutely love this trigger. It's just really, really easy to see in low light conditions. Again, I think I did a short video on this trigger. They're great triggers. There's a lot of really awesome features on these. I highly suggest checking them out. For my main on-camera flash, I am using the Godox V1 Pro. Now the reason that I'm using the V1 Pro instead of the V100 that has the touchscreen is because when this is on camera, it's usually dangling at my side, and I just didn't want that screen to be getting messed up or adjusting any of my settings. I'm sure on the V100, I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure you can lock the screen as you can lock this as well. But it's just one I've had for a while, and I haven't found a reason to upgrade it. It works fantastic. I can use it remote with my triggers, or I can have this as a master to control my AD200s. And this here is just the dome that goes for the View 1 Pro. The next case I have on there, as you can see, camera lenses. This is the larger case just because there's a little more that's in it. It doesn't look like it, it's just the way that I have it laid out. But I have it laid out the way that I do for a certain reason. Now onto the insides. I'm not going to pull any of these ones out, but here we got the Fuji X-T3. This is the main camera body. This is the Fuji X-T2. They're essentially the same cameras. The X-T3 has a slightly faster autofocus than the 2. They are different sensors, and this one is a little higher on the megapixel. I think this is 26, while the X-T2 is 24 or something, if I remember right. But the images side by side, I absolutely cannot tell the difference. This here is a Viltrox 35 1.7. Again, decent little lens. Autofocus is not the fastest, but it's pretty sharp. It's their entry level one, so it's like a plasticky build one. I really only use this for detail shots if I don't have the light. Keep batteries in this little plastic case here, just spare batteries. And we got what is probably my most used lens. This is the Fuji 18-55. This is the one that they kind of consider their kit lens. It is a variable aperture. It's a 2.8 to, I believe, a 3.5. I'd have to check it for sure. But fantastic lens. I've done videos on these. There's lots of videos out there on these lenses. They are just great lenses, just extremely sharp, easy to use. I love the click aperture on it. It has the optical image stabilization built into it. They are wonderful, wonderful lenses. Now it is probably my favorite lens of all time. This is the 14mm 2.8 Fuji lens. This is the one that's always on during the ceremonies that I'm using for like the overhead shots with the on-camera flash. I also use this during the reception for overhead shots as they are coming down the aisle. I like to get that big shot that shows the entire crowd. This lens is awesome, extremely sharp, extremely fast autofocus. And another one from Viltrox. This is the Viltrox 85 1.8. I think this is kind of their middle ground lens. It's the metal build. Autofocus on it, it's faster than the other Viltrox or the TT Artisan, but again, not as fast as my Fuji lenses. But this is an awesome lens. Again, super, super sharp lens. Feels great in the hands. The manual focus ring on it is really, really smooth. You know, all metal build, great lens. I highly suggest checking one of these out. I think new you can pick them up from around $400 to $500. But yeah, they are a great lens. Huge element on it. Now we're gonna make a little switch. I'm not gonna pull up my big roller case because it is a large Milwaukee case, but this is just where I keep my off-camera flashes. This is the 8200 Pro 2. So what they changed on these is they added the fan to it to help keep them cool because they did have kind of a cooling issue on the original models. And they also added a round head with the modeling lights on it. And this is the flash bulb here. Usually when I have these in one of the soft boxes, I have this head on so that I've got the big flash tube and it disperses a little better with inside of the soft box. These are great flashes. And one thing I really love that they did on them, so these little LED lights on the side of them, when I power this on here, they come up a different color. There's gonna be like green, blue, red. And what that does is on my X3 Pro, it correlates with that color. So it's really, really easy for me to look at a stand and know which light is which by the color that's on the side of them. And also inside of there, I keep my brackets. This one is the Godox S3. I've got an S2. Not really a difference between them, just a difference in the flange, but kind of the same idea. I also keep reflectors in there with the grids. Some of the fabric gels, they work all right, not as well as an actual gel, but I'm not doinking around with those. I put these on during the reception and the lights will face kind of kitty corner to each other. And that's where you get that kind of intercepting flash to it. And you can create some really cool images depending on where it is that you were standing and how you get the couple in frame. But I've always got these in there as well. And then I also keep this T&Y Photop, I think it is called. Little softbox I got off of Amazon. I think it was like 40 bucks, so I gave it a try. Not a bad little softbox. Comes with this little bracket here that It's kind of funky to set up, not super hard, but just a little different. But it's got the handle on it, so it makes it easy to hand hold. I can either hand hold it myself, but usually I do have a lighting assistant with me. So I've got somebody who is holding on to this when I'm doing couple shots and want to use a softbox. And I also carry a Godox QRP70. It's a big parabolic style softbox. I'm not gonna go and pull it out, but I do carry this with me for group photos, and portrait stuff with the couples, various different things. It creates a nice hard light, but not super hard. I really do like the softbox zone. It's very, very easy to set up on site. And of course, I also bring my Pentax K1000. This is one of my favorite film cameras. Just, you know, one of the reasons why I love this camera so much is it's fairly easy to use. It works, and it's not one that I'm worried about. You know, if something happens to this, I can go to my local camera store and pick up another one. Ones like the Nikon F2 and F3 are a little harder to come by, so I'm not a huge fan of taking them out to weddings. But yeah, this is what I usually bring with me for shooting my 35mm film. And really the last thing I have with me is my backpack. I usually keep a laptop in here. I've got, let's see here. I've got my reflectors, various reflectors, gray card. I keep straps in here. I keep a cleaning kit in here. You know, the normal stuff that you kind of carry around in your backpack. I might have my drinks in here. But other than that, that is about it. You know, I've got a couple stands that come with me. One of them is holding up my big video light right now. There's another one on the floor. Nothing you really need to see, nothing super fancy. And I usually bring my K&F Concepts tripod with me, but for the most part, I usually don't use tripods. But I do bring it with me just in case. I hope that was somewhat enjoyable. If you have any questions, please ask below.